say, when is it that I'm going to see the face of Kelly and McGraw back in the Team Charles headquarters again?
Oh, you're going to see me later today.
Well, very good. But it's often just for protein powder. Yes. We don't really get much deeper than that.
I
we
will
come in.
You know what? The reason why I don't come in, I am so angry at myself for gaining all the weight back.
Well, why don't you put that in the category where I have it? It's just sadness. Sadness that you could have changed, and you should change, and you still can change.
Yeah.
And why not do that?
Yeah.
There's still time.
There's time.
I think this is a learning moment for you in the car that might be in the same situation. How many clients have I worked with who, over time itself lends us to getting off of track. And so we get off of track and old habits creep in. And then if we have a helper that cares about us, often we're afraid that we're going to disappoint that person by reaching back out or extending a note, letting them know that, hey, we might need some more help because we're afraid that person will be disappointed.
Right.
When you're a committed helper, you recognize that part of life is finding out that old habits do creep back in. And it's not that the habits come back in, it's what do you do with those things. So it's course correcting. That's why coaching is so important. When you have someone objectively on the outside that sometimes can see the forest from the trees, so to speak, it makes it a lot more easy for you to stay with the plan that you have for yourself.
It's so true. All right, let's talk about who owns Guido's on the Hill.
Miguel Carretero.
Yes.
Miguel Carretero, you're probably referencing, he was on the cover of Ladue News recently. He's lost 105 pounds. So if you need an example of someone who's in a very challenging environment, Miguel owns and operates the restaurant there on Shaw and Kings Highway, and yet still was able to manage to lose that 105 pounds. But let me reiterate. While many people know me for helping them lose weight, I look at weight in a very general sense. My latest book, Inner Guru, is talking about losing the chains of your past, because weight isn't just the weight you're carrying because of the food you're eating. Often we're distracting ourselves, we're consoling ourselves from a bigger issue using a substance. And in the cases of my clients, it's food. So once you stop that and you ask yourself, what am I using food to deal with? What am I keeping myself from really experiencing? A lot of times people keep themselves from entering relationships by putting food in that place because the fear of getting in a relationship and then losing the relationship is too much for them. Or there's a lot of grief, a lot of pain, a lot of unresolved feelings that are there, and they're consoling themselves with food. So what I help people to do is disconnect emotion from food so then they can really get on with their lives and live the way they want.
Food is a drug, all right? It's as bad as a drug.
Well, I'm really trying to communicate more effectively what it is I do, because so many people come to me and they think that we're going to be working out in a gym, or then I'm going to be offering them some dietetic program or some nutrition program, and I'm none of those things. What I really am is a coach, someone who helps you look at where you want to be, see where you are, don't see it worse than where you are, but then begin to close that gap from where you are to where you want to be.
But hold on, but you also help with menus and things like that.
Well, food is obviously a part of it, but I think if food was the answer, everyone would be fit and healthy. I mean, how many diet books are there out there? How many DVDs? How many nutritionists? How many trainers? If food or a specific workout routine was the solution, we wouldn't see the problem we see in Walmart, or we see in the airport, or we see on the street. So many people come at that from that very point. They come in my office and they're like, well, what different food plan do you have? There's no new fundamental way to eat healthy. I'm here to tell you. And you need to be very wary and seriousness of the people out there saying this new pill or this new procedure or this new diet is going to do it. If you will just make some small daily disciplines, a routine, ritual, eat every 3 hours, make sure that you're eating low glycemic carbohydrates. I mean, I'm not giving out very specific nutrition information. It's very general. But the thing is, routinizing it, making it a routine. When you make something a habit, that's what this whole program is based around, habit-based coaching, not nutrition-based coaching.
It's usually not about the food. It's always
all about the feeling. What is it that food means to you? And once you get behind that and you start to really process that, those bad choices seem to dissipate.
But what if we know it's not about the food and we're still...
Then you've got to ask yourself, now that I've acknowledged that, how am I going to process that awareness? That is, how am I going to begin to come to terms with the pain, the sadness often, the anger? Often what I found in my work with people, it's grief that they're avoiding. It's a lot of sadness, it's a lot of anger, a lot of fear that's there that they haven't given themselves space to really feel out. And often I'll refer to therapists. If a client has a lot of that coaching isn't the right fit for, and therapists refer to me. So it's a really, really holistic approach I take to helping people transform the quality of their lives.
Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels.
Well, I'll tell you, when you feel in control of your habits, there's nothing that gives you a better sense of really directing your destiny. When you recognize President Trump can be in office or can't be in office. We can have the current economic climate we have, a worse or better one. None of those things have to change for us to change.
Yeah, no.
When you recognize that, you become a full, healthy, mature adult, and you start to take your life to where you want it.
Charles, how do people get a hold of you?
You can call me at my office at 314-495-3228 and go to the website, charlesdangelo.com. And the book is Think and Grow Thin at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Inner Guru as well.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.